Hello, you're watching Coffee Blog, and today I'm going to show you two things. First of all, how to measure TTS, how to measure extraction of coffee using refractometer, and secondly, how to adjust the taste of your coffee using these numbers that it will show you. Extraction and TTS, total dissolved solids, which stands for concentration of a beverage. So it's amount of solids in your water, in your coffee. Here is our coffee. As you can see, it's pretty light. Let's start from the theory and sequence of adjustment. First of all, I'm trying to adjust coffee for extraction, and then, when I reach my extraction goal, I'm adjusting the taste of coffee using the temperature of water. So when I'm targeting extraction, of course, I'm targeting using the basic recipe and adjusting the grind size. And then I'm gonna see if coffee needed more extraction, I adjust it using pouring structures, so I have a little bit room to play here. The base of the taste will be adjusted by the grind size itself, because I need enough body in my coffee in order to have complexity and to not lose the sweetness when the coffee cools down. So if there is not enough body, there will be a lot of acidity when coffee cools down. So I want to support with body my sweetness and to not have a lot of sweetness, because it will be just sweet coffee and without interesting acidity. Usually I prefer 18% of extraction, sometimes 20 and 21, but rarely, because coffee becomes too sweet and I love closer to acidic notes, so fresher, and it's summer. So if I, let's say, reach 17% of extraction, I need to increase it, and I'm going to use smaller grind size or increase the pours, so amount of pours. If you use, let's say, 200 milliliters of water, you can divide it by three or four portions, and if you use 4, extraction will be higher, but you will risk increasing total brewing time too much, and you might have some astringency, some dirty notes, so your coffee will not be clean. So I'm going to use osmotic flow. It also has this issue with longer total brewing time, and it starts to get more dusty beverage, so produce more dusty beverage. So my goal is to start from basic recipe with bloom 30 seconds, pulses from 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then constant pour in the center towards the end. Simple recipe, and I adjust only pulses phase, which is from 30 seconds. It could be to 1 minute 30 seconds if I want to increase extraction, but we will play with it. We will see how coffee behaves and adjust it. And when I see that extraction is okay, I'm gonna adjust the temperature. Because I'm using light roast washed brewing tea, it loves higher temperatures, so I probably will start right away from 96 degrees Celsius. There will be enough acidity for my taste, and I see that it's roasted light. I will assess the coffee while grinding. I'm going to think about the temperature again, because 96 degrees looks enough for the beans color, but in terms of resistance of coffee density, I might use 97, 98. Because if I do too high a temperature, it might extract roasty notes. Sometimes it happens if coffee roasted a little bit darker. And let's start our practice, which is connection to the device, to the DiFluid refractometer. That's how I store the spoon, by the way. So first of all, we're gonna open the app, and we need to turn on location and Bluetooth. At this point, I'm not connected to the refractometer yet. I haven't turned it on because I don't need it before I actually brewed the coffee, but I'm starting from filling the preset. So I'm gonna use 250 grams of water, 96 degrees, and important thing, first of all, Commandant osmotic 20 grams, 15 grams. So you can assign your own clicks, your own name in here, so it will be absolutely custom. It's my Commodore C40 coffee blog, and here's my numbers. So another parameter which is pretty important is this one, is carafe cup weight. I'm gonna weigh the server before brewing, says 195.5, and after brewing I will measure the weight of a coffee with the server and enter in a special field, and it will subtract the weight of a server of carafe. Let's weigh our coffee, and when I'm done brewing I'm gonna enter my time, brewing time, and only then connect to the device, because it's not needed for now. But before doing this, I'm gonna calibrate refractometer, because I'm in another environment. Temperature difference could affect the measurement. So simple fast tap and long tap, and we are calibrated 25.9 degrees. At home I've calibrated at 28 degrees, so it's probably better to calibrate it if you are in another environment. And now we're ready to grind our coffee. I'm gonna use 20 clicks, because it seems reasonable for 20 grams. We'll see how it goes. As for the brewing setup, of course, a bucket of filters, because I love them. Faster flow, more control. And do not have any taste, so I don't need to rinse my filters. Coffee is not too dense, so probably 20 clicks will do. It's pretty big grind size, could be 22 clicks, but we'll see how coffee brews itself. It's really, really nice berries. I love Burundi. So this year's crop is just incredible. It's much better than Kenya because of complexity, but only 2 bags and probably one of the last batches. So 19.8. I decided for some reason so we're gonna use more water. So the recipe will be different, but it doesn't matter, because we're gonna see how coffee behaves. And it shows 97, so let's start from 97. Pretty fresh, but not too fresh. Opens pretty good. Now pulses to 30 seconds, to 1 minute for 30 seconds. So it's 250 after all. Yeah, 255. And now it's time to measure the result. I'm gonna enter brewing time, because it's important for corrections, because I will see how it tastes. Does it need corrections in terms of time? So we have the weight, our total weight with the graph, But now let's connect the device and start the measurements. I'm gonna just switch it on, connect, just a few taps. It was 97, so I'm gonna try this. By the way, these parameters will be stored if you save the recipe, if you save this. So when you click done, it saves the result and you can fill the preset. Now I'm gonna use this extract and enter the yield. So we're gonna use total weight because we can pour it to another cup and measure the weight of the coffee itself, but it's easier to measure carafe, cup, and then use total weight. Exit. And now TDS, finally. I'm gonna pour a little bit in my cup. Take a sample, and I'm gonna cool down it a little bit using my hand first of all. Just place the spoon in a hand. It will drop a few degrees, a couple of degrees, and blow with the coffee because it will cool down faster. Because our measurements, say it around 26 degrees here, so I'm going to target around 26 degrees sample. And we're gonna use test. By the way, before we do the test, I'm gonna use average test mode, which has 6 attempts, and it will show average number. Why we do this? Because it will show our graph how TDS changes. So each measurement could be different, and it will show the graph. It should drop because it's 28.5 degrees. We need it to drop to like 26 because you see the trend is declining. Our goal is to have a couple of stable measurements, and at this point I'm gonna try coffee and see is there enough body. So is it watery or there is enough body? And secondly, is there acidity or not? When I'm assessing the body, I'm also assessing clarity. So if there is enough body and zero clarity or low clarity, I'm gonna brew shorter, maybe with the same grind size, but increase the water temperature in order to compensate if extraction was low. So if my coffee is not clear, I'm gonna drop the total brewing time. I'm gonna use another pouring structure. Maybe I will use even with a single pour with a single constant pour without pulses phase. Acidity is high. Probably body could be better. So I can decrease the acidity by having lower temperature. It will be sweeter cup, but I like this acidity. This level is sweetness in aftertaste, like some caramel sweetness. Yeah, it's berries, so it's not overly acidic. I'm pretty happy with this brew. Could be cleaner, so one click increase probably will do coffee better. And we're close to our measurement. Like 1.4 is pretty much the result. Gonna exit and see that we have extraction 19.2%, TDS 1.4, which is perfect. So what I can do is to decrease the grind size, use 21 clicks and increase the grind size. And it will be cleaner first of all, and it will be lighter, so for summer would be better. I see that my extraction is perfect, so I can make pour instructions structures pulses phase longer, so the extraction will be higher. But I see that it's already 90%, 19%. So I would like to brew like to closer to 18%. For my taste, for the summer is better, and cleaner cup is preferred. Coffee great, but maybe too much sweetness. Body not perfect. Yeah, a little bit too heavy. The conclusion could be cleaner, and could be cleaner. Could be less with less extraction. So I'm going to use 22 clicks. Let's see how extraction drops when I use the same recipe. I'm gonna use the same temperature, like 96, 97 degrees, and we will repeat this. There is a little bit bitter notes, a little bit heavy notes in aftertaste, slightly bitter notes and slightly heavy. So I want to get rid of them by just increasing the grind size. 196. I'm going to correct graph weight. So suppose with slightly bigger grind size it will produce better result because of faster extraction time, total brewing time. So the cup will be cleaner because of this, partially. And I will get rid of these over extracted notes. Our goal is by increasing the grind size is to have shorter total brewing time, like 230, 220, probably 230. And by this we will decrease our, first of all, we'll increase acidity, probably, I hope, because there will be less body and you will perceive acidity better, because it's pretty sweet, even though it's light roast. And it will be cleaner, etc. So we just know that extraction is pretty high and we have room to play to decrease it. That's what we're gonna do now. Decrease extraction, increase clarity, increase juiciness. Same 19.8 grams. The grind size is like sugar, 22 clicks, so it's 660 microns. Should be exactly like sugar, and the temperature is the same. It opens more easily. That's what bigger grind size gives us. I think that kind of coffee should be extracted lower, because we will not cover all the tastes. So we will extract all the sweet and interesting acidic notes, and will not extract bitter ones, which are not that pleasant, and they will destroy the picture overall feel of the coffee. That's why we targeting less extraction and cleaner cup. Some coffee, like some anaerobics, sometimes need body, a lot of body, in order to support the taste. This one does not. It should be clean. So our brewing time is 240 around, maybe 245. Maybe 245, but something like this. Our mission is complete because we wanted shorter brewing time, we did it, and now it's time to fill the parameters. Again, mix the coffee, because there are different layers and probably will have different concentration. Click brew. Yield, total weight, and extraction. So first of all, by swirling a cup, it will cool down a little. And then on a hand, I'm not gonna watch on the result, and I'm gonna try the coffee. That's what I needed. A really clean taste with lots of berries, like almost punchy berries. Like acidity is there, but it's not overwhelming. It's pleasant acidity and right amount for the summer, at least. Sweetness is here, but it's cleaner. Aftertaste is cleaner as well. The result, coffee still hot. Right away decreased the total dissolved solids, which represented in a cup, like a lemonade. So body is clean, it's enough body, so the layer, it's like a perceivable volume of a coffee. Still lots of sweetness. I think it's closer to the result. 127 probably. No, 20, 28. By the way, you can press here. Still dropping, so I'm gonna test one more time. Because we see the graph, sees the trend, and sees the temperature, and that way we can assess faster if it's worth to wait a little bit more for this sample. No, it does not. So it's not worth it. And we are right where I needed it to be. So it's 17.59%. We see that it shows sour, but it's not sour because it's osmotic flow. It extracts balanced cup of coffee, just lower amount of extraction. It's really sweet coffee. So we're gonna click done in order to save it. And by the way, you can use Pro. In order to see it better, you can use another Specialty Coffee Association of America, Europe. So in terms of total dissolved solids, it's on the lower side, which I wanted it to be. Let's save and see what we can do here. We can enter details, which is our recipe or some other parameters. I don't save the data because it shows it in the recipes. It's Burundi. 22 clicks, 97 degrees, 1 minute pulses. So that's how I keep it. Click save, turn it off, we don't need it anymore for this portion of video. And now we can, first of all, we can load this recipe. By the way, here is our date, brewing date. For some reason 5. So brewing time, clicks, temperature, all that you need. Now we can see our recipes. So here are the recipes. Our previous one, 255, and new one. And most importantly, first of all, we can load the recipe, like clicking on some random recipe, click this arrow and it will load the parameters here. So you will not need to fill it in. At home I just used weight of my graph and never touched this because it stays the same. I will preload this one. So it changes. It's nice to have like osmotic 20 grams, so it's easier to navigate between the recipes. Like you can see, I've experimented a lot with Indonesia. Have some notes here as well. Complex, sweet, plum-ish, hint of pineapple, but very tiny, pleasant aftertaste, velvet. So it's nice to have a history of recipes and to delete those which you don't need. But now I'm gonna show you how you can compare your brews. You can just click this, select your recipes and see the result. And you can name however you want. You can screenshot it, send to someone. And it will be useful because you can share two recipes of the same coffee and say like this one will be with better body, this one will be with better acidity. You brew how you prefer. But as you can see, numbers helps a lot, at least for me. In my case, I really know where to push my coffee. So if extraction is like 70%, obviously I can extract more. And I can do lots of variations, like decrease the brewing time by increasing its temperature. I will compensate because extraction will be faster. So I will extract same amount, but cup will be cleaner for some reason. And that's how it works. And some coffee will just have blank taste. So it's like sweet. And you don't know what's wrong. Because some coffee here, like Indonesia, let's record this. When we decreased the water temperature, this one, 93, pretty high acidity, 91, same extraction, very clean, but not much details, complexity loss because of drop of the temperature. Then I've tried same grind size, 95 degrees, but I've played with pulses. Pineapple, low acidity, and I like this result because pineapple is very pronounced, and as you can see, extraction slightly higher. So same amount of pulses time, brewing time 233 and 233, so literally it's the same, but temperature difference plays the role. And then I decreased the amount of release, made the smaller grind size, and we have higher extraction because of this. Complex, sweet, blah blah blah, we've seen this already. And we lost pineapple. So with higher extraction, lost pineapple with smaller grind size. 0 pulses, 97 degrees. Bright, clean, sweet, too sweet. Try 17 clicks. So as you can see, the grind size will not allow us to achieve acidity even with higher temperatures. And by analyzing your results, you will see how extraction affects, what parameters affects, and you will learn faster how to adjust your coffee, because you will see the behavior of your coffee, the trends, how your coffee reacts to some adjustments, and you will see the number. And number is really important because without number, you can write some notes, but it's not helpful. It's not helpful that much because you don't have reference. So when you have grind size, it's like adjusting the grind size without knowing the clicks. It's insane. It takes much more time. I've reached probably the maximum complexity for this coffee. And it's clean, still clean. Enough body, and it's very sweet, so I like the recipe. So you can see, I can analyze the shot by just taste, but extraction helps me to understand where to move. So I definitely wanted to decrease the extraction. Of course, I can say it by just the taste, so it's too sweet, I need to decrease it. But first of all, I see the amount of decrease, and I can see that extraction could be slightly higher next time if I want more body. But numbers will tell it faster. And next time, like you want to share the recipe with barista, you can write some notes to target for this coffee. So you can say like it should be 95 degrees, some amount of clicks, and it should taste like this. If it's not, you can adjust the taste by knowing what parameter affect the taste which you want to increase. Coffee is pretty complex, but with this you narrow the path of adjustments, because you can clearly see that this parameter will change the taste, this one will change the extraction, etc. So I hope this video was helpful. I really enjoy the coffee, like some spices even, some like clove, new descriptor in this coffee that I found. Next time, let me know what coffee I should try to brew. If you want to repeat this process of adjustment of coffee, maybe some anaerobic infused coffee, naturals. We have coffee net infused coffee, honey processed infused, so really mind-blowing. 90 Q score, 91 Q score, incredible coffee. Let me know in the comments, do you want to see another series with coffee adjustment, what I think about, and see ya.